Motorola has been making the most value for money smartphones lately. Just look at the last three phones. Edge 30, G52, Edge 30 Pro, all of these phones are something that I actually recommend to people. So when this arrived, the brand new Moto G82 5G, I obviously had my hopes up. So is this worth it? Let's take a look. So this is the new Moto G82, and before we go ahead, do you remember the Moto G71 that launched back in January? Yeah, that was another good Motorola phone that launched at what? 18999? Now the G82 brings some interesting improvements to the G71. First off, the Moto G82 comes in these two color variants, but I like the white variant more because I think this whole pattern is more visible here, and I think it just looks more classy than this gray one. To be honest, this is not the most striking design, but it is functional. This is another Moto phone that's very sleek and lightweight, and I love that. And I don't know why this is a very underrated point, but just check out this comparison of the G82 to a Realme phone or a Redmi phone in the same price range. The G82 is slimmer, lighter, and it's more compact. And this makes a difference. The G82 is lovely to hold in the hand. It's great in the pocket, lightweight. I mean, in a world where phones are getting bulkier and heavier, this is just so good. If you're wondering about the build, the G82 has the PMMA thermoplastic aka acrylic glass back and frame. The fingerprint scanner is in the power button on the right frame and it's fast. The whole design is also IP52 rated for splash resistance, and the good thing is the phone has the dedicated micro SD slot and it has the headphone jack. And this phone comes with two speakers unlike the G71, and what's interesting is that the stereo speaker setup is actually good. It's loud and the quality is fairly good, and there is Dolby Atmos support. So along with the improved stereo speakers from the G71, the display is also a big bump. The G82 has a 120Hz POLED display with 700 nits of brightness in high brightness mode and 1000 nits of peak brightness. One specification that's interesting here is that this is a 10-bit display. So if you don't know, 10-bit is basically 1 billion colors and 8-bit is around 16 million colors. Now, as far as I know, almost all the phones in this price segment, be it the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus or Realme 9 5G Speed Edition, all of them come with 8-bit displays, so it's good that Motorola has included a high-end 10-bit OLED panel in the G82. Also, since it's POLED, the bezels are unified and there's no big chin, which is something I always like. Anyway, it's not just this, the display is actually vibrant and good. It's basically a good OLED panel. It gets quite bright, so brightness is not a problem here. The blacks are obviously inky, and I like the colors, although sometimes the colors do look a bit saturated, but that's something you can fix in the display settings. There is also the Widevine N1 license, so no issues with Full HD playback in apps like Netflix, but there's no HDR support. Moving on, the one area where the G82 is similar to the G71 is the chipset. The G82 comes with the same Snapdragon 695 chipset with up to 8GB LPDDR4X RAM and 128GB of uMCP storage. Now, I know the 695 isn't exactly a 6 series chipset, as you can see from this comparison, and at 2021K it is still better than the likes of 750G or Exynos 1280. So 695 is good, but yeah, an upgrade to the chipset would have been nicer. What do you guys think? Anyway, the performance on the G82 is actually good. These are the benchmark scores, and these are the scores of the CPU throttling test that we did. Yeah, these are part the phone is responsive and fast. I did not notice any major lag anywhere, and the day-to-day performance actually seems on point. On the gaming front, PUBG New State supports 90 FPS gaming on the 695. The new Apex Legends Mobile supports Ultra HD graphics with high FPS, and BGMI supports HD and high graphics or smooth and ultra graphics. Now, we tested all these games on the G82 and the gaming performance is consistent without any problems. The software experience is clean, Moto-like. The phone has Android 12 and Motorola has promised an update to Android 13 and 3 years of security updates. See, personally, I would have wanted a promise of 2 major Android updates on the G82, but I think Motorola is taking the whole "we will promise what we can deliver" approach with the G82. Now, the Android 12 experience here is once again very pixel-like. It looks almost the same, and once again, there's no bloatware or ads anywhere in the UI. This is great. The cameras have gotten a good upgrade too. The 50-megapixel main camera now has OIS, which is great because at 20K, there aren't any phones with OIS. Yes, the Realme 9 Pro Plus has OIS, but that's 24-25K. Now, OIS on the G82 works with both photos and videos, and I did feel that the G82 captures slightly sharper shots in low light. Just check these out. The videos are also more stable with OIS. Here's a comparison video between the G82 and the G71. Yeah, the stability is good, but there's no 4K video recording support here, only 1080p at 30 or 60 FPS. Now, one thing I did note is that the camera app is also the new one that we saw in the Edge 30. Now, I also took some daytime shots from the main camera and the photos are good. There's good level of details and I like that the colors are natural, not boosted or anything. The dynamic range seems on point too. We also tested the ultra-wide camera and it is kind of okayish. I mean, the photos are sharp and good, but we noticed it to take darker shots than usual, which is a bit strange. The front camera is a 16 megapixel camera and the selfies from this camera are decent. The colors remain natural and there's good sharpness, but the details could have been better. So this is a video from the front camera of the Moto G82 and we are in the natural habitat here. There's no studio lights turned on. The very noisy AC at the top is turned on. So what do you think about the camera quality and the dual mics quality? Comment down below. The battery in the G82 is a 5000 mAh battery and it comes with this 33 watt turbo power charger. Now I haven't had the time to test the battery yet, but I think the 5000 mAh battery should be fairly good. The 33 watt charge is something we have tested though, and it takes the phone from 10 to 100% in 1 hour 8 minutes. Coming to connectivity, the G82 has dual band Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth 5.1, 3CA carrier aggregation which we checked and it's there. There's also 4x4 MIMO, NFC and 13 5G bands, so it's all pretty much covered. The price of the G82 starts at Rs 21,499 and that becomes 19,999 if you consider the SBI bank offer. Now the big question is, does the G82 make sense at this price? See, there's nothing flashy about the Moto G82, but I like that it just seems like a good all-round smartphone that people can actually buy. The slim and light design is great even though it is PMMA plastic. The software experience remains the cleanest you can get in this price segment. You get the high-end 10-bit 120Hz AMOLED OIS in the main camera, which is again not something you get in the segment, and a fairly big battery. It's not perfect, there's no 4K recording in the front or rear camera. The chipset is the same as the G71. So there are some quirks in this phone, but I want to know from you guys, what do you think about the new Moto G82, its pros and cons? Comment down below. Also give this video a like and very importantly, hit that subscribe button. Do not forget the bell icon because we make some amazing tech videos and we have some great videos lined up for you. So do that and thanks for watching.
Super affordable 3D pen we got from Amazon.
This is a 3D pen I got from Amazon and this